lots of praise and worship. So afterwards, they're going to do a fellowship, and we're all invited. So if you have the ability to make that, just make plans to do so. Our other announcement is today we wanted to honor Miss Ashlyn. She is getting set to graduate with a lot of honors over at UAM. And so we're not officially having a graduation ceremony because we don't do that for college grads, but she has done such an amazing job. We wanted to make sure we pointed it out because we are so proud of her and her diligence. And she's done all of this battling health conditions, and it's just amazing what she's done. If you walk by the bulletin board, which I want to say thank you to Miss Lindsay, if you go through that bulletin board in there, you'll see all kinds of flyers, all kinds of stuff she's got up. And you can't open a paper in Monticello without seeing something that Ashlyn Baker is getting awarded for. You go on Facebook, and there was one in there, I believe it was Drew County, Best Hair? There's one of Mr. Birchfield in there. But anyway, we are super proud of her. She says that she takes cashier's checks, money orders, anything you'd like to give her. But the most important thing, I just want to say we're proud of you. We love you. We're glad and we're honored that you're part of Halley Baptist. And then, do I have one more? Okay. With all that said, we're here today to celebrate homecoming. And Halley Baptist Church means so much to so many. And it's amazing. We love these times when folks are able to come back home. And what I love about this place is when we lived in Hot Springs, we would feel it. But when we've got people that live, say, in Monticello, or they're members of other churches, whatever it is, when they come into this place, even on Sundays when it's not homecoming, this church always feels like home. And that's, I believe, because the Spirit of the Lord is invited to be here. And today we want to honor Jesus for what He's done at our church in the past. We want to honor Him for what He's doing, and we want to praise His name for what He is yet to do. And so today we're going to have a very special song ceremony. We've got lots of folks that want to choose hymns to sing, I'm sure. But before we get kicked off with Mr. Birchfield and Miss Bev, Mr. Andrew Brannon, who was one of our youth growing up right here in this church, he told the story last time he was out here about how he came to Christ one night at a youth event that we did when we went over and saw the power team. You go over and saw the power team in Monticello and all these real strong guys. When he went to see all those strong guys doing cool things, he met the strongest of all, which was Jesus Christ, who saved his soul. And so he's going to come sing about that same Savior right now.
That old altar could rarely talk, oh, but it won't. What heaven forgot and what hell never will. It just sits there in the silence and speaks loud through their tears. And their new life begins when sin died here. Somewhere between that old broken and the pure, a heart so unclean brand new. That old altar is a tombstone, and the epitaph's clear. It says grace fought this battle, and sin died here. You just listened as the drunkard staggered in and fell down. Heard the heartache that come from the dark side of town. But the sound that's most familiar is when the angels all cheer. The cross won again, and sin died here. Somewhere between that old pulpit and the pew, a heart so unclean was made spotless, brand new. That old altar is a tombstone, and the epitaph's clear. It says grace fought this battle, and sin died here. That old altar is a tombstone, and the epitaph's clear. It says grace fought this battle, and sin died here.
Will be back. He's going to sing another one in just a little while. Thank you, buddy. That was good. I could just sit down and let you have it. You want to do it. Well, good morning and happy birthday to you. You are 82 years old this morning, or this month, this year. You are 82 years old. 1942 in June the 4th, as a matter of fact, it was a Thursday night. A group of people got together at the Halley School. Some of you didn't know Halley had a school. Oh, yes, it did. And I was in the last class that started there, where they gave up after my group. I started there in the first grade. We had one teacher teaching 8 grades. There was one person in the 8th grade. That 8th grader taught me how to read. I was 5 years old. The school was right down here where your church park is now. And I always thought it was a God thing for the church to have started there and then wound up with a church park there for Halley Baptist Church. Halley Baptist Church, 1942, started June the 4th. I started to say I have no idea why a Thursday. This is a farming community, always has been. Well, of course, it was forestry before that, but farming, you know, if June would have been a big farm week, it must have been a rainy week. I can't imagine a bunch of folks getting together at the schoolhouse to talk about starting a Baptist church, but they did. It would be 5 years after that, no, 7 years after that. That was 42. It would be 1949 before the first building was here on land that the Waldrops, my Uncle Pudge, wasn't that a lovely name? Uncle Pudge donated land to build the church on. The first one was built here and used beginning in 1949. The first funeral in the 49 church building was Mrs. Cornelius, what was that lady's name? I can't remember her, but it was her dad. His name was Hodges. That was the first funeral, and he was buried right out there. First funeral. That church building, 1949, lasted until 1963. That's not very long for a building to last. What happened? Termites ate the sucker up. I mean, ate it up. There was no such thing as spraying for termites in 1949, I guess. Now, the schoolhouse stood like a rock. That thing was built in 1923, and by 1949, it was still going strong, and it was still going strong as a building when it was torn down after having turned from a school to a bunch of apartments. Anybody remember that? The old schoolhouse, built in 1923, and I don't know when it was torn down. But this building, the one that was before here, had to be demolished. And this one, 1964, is when it began to be used. All right, I'm not going to talk too long because I want to hear you sing. What are you doing as a Christian and a member or a friend of Halley Baptist Church? We are admonished to work until he comes back, right? Pick up one of those little green books around you. I think number 105, I think that's the right number, 105, is that right, Bev? We'll work till Jesus comes. I just want to sing the first verse and chorus. Are you going to sing it with me? Now I want you singing loud, and in order to do that, I want you to stand up. Would you stand up? We're just going to do the first verse and chorus. And yes. Okay, sing it with me now. Land of rest. Till Jesus comes. Perry, go ahead and sit back down now, and we'll keep going. I want you to go back to the song, was it 17? There's another one in here. 17. Go back to the song, On Jordan's Stormy Banks I Stand. Keep in mind what we just sang. We'll work till Jesus comes. This one sounds very much like it. A lot of old gospel songs have the same ring to them if you listen. If you listen carefully, the wording is changed, but the music stays the same, or a lot of it does. Let's try this one. You don't have to get up on this one. But the promised land, on Jordan's stormy banks I stand and cast a wistful eye to Canaan's fair and happy land where my possessions lie. Let's sing the first and last on this song. Will you do that? All right, here we go. On Jordan's stormy banks I stand and cast a wistful eye. Okay, let it go. that you're going to be working until the Lord comes back. Is that a fair statement? That's what you're going to do. 1949, I said the first building began to be used, but it went down within just a few years. You've heard this story before. In the summer of 1963, in the summer of 63, we were having a revival. In those days, revivals were packed houses. In those days, there was not much air conditioning around. Windows were open. People were standing outside if they couldn't get in. Windows were open with a few fans around, mostly funeral home fans. You know, you remember those? In, I think it was August, there were rows of pews similar to this. There were rows along the side. There were 2 rows over there, 2 rows over there. The second one, the one closest to the wall over here, in the middle of the sermon, that pew crashed through the floor with all the people that were on it. It woke them up, but it crashed through the floor, and that's when the discovery of termites, we decided a new building was needed. That was in the summer of 66. It would be 74. Let's see, I think I'm telling that right. Yeah, it was decided that a certain amount of money would need to be reached before they started. Anyway, no, I'm telling something wrong. 63, it would be this 64. Did I say 64? Not 74. 64. This building was started. It would be another 10 years, 74. That's where I got that the fellowship hall was built. And by the way, an interesting part of that, had been started as a Southern Baptist church, a mission out of Dermot. But during the time period that we were Southern Baptist Church, things began to fall down with our relationship, not with our relationship, but with our problems of keeping a pastor. There happened to be a lot of young missionary Baptist preachers around. North American Baptist Association, and then that became the BMA, Baptist Missionary Association of America. We decided to swap over to their associations. There was not a whole lot of difference, certainly not in doctrine. There was some differences in the money, how the missions were supported. But that's what we decided to do. And in that course, it was easier to keep pastors then because there were a lot of young guys. Can you believe that now? You can't find one anywhere now, but back then there were young guys actually surrendering to the ministry. Can you believe that? They were, and so it was fairly easy for us to pull one in. Now, we had to make some changes. Part of that time we didn't have Sunday morning and Sunday night church. We had Saturday night and Sunday afternoon church. How would you like that? Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. I was thinking about that yesterday. You would think that young folks would not have cared a thing about a Saturday night service, but that bunch did. Can you figure out why? Because church was the place to go. Church then, you're talking about the 60s. Church was the place to go, and usually the preachers were loud enough the kids could do their talking back on the back pews and flirt with each other and all that stuff, and nobody'd bother them. And I don't know how much of that you remember. I remember it well. I do. 1974, it was decided that Gail Birchfield, Bud Birchfield, Donald Birchfield, and one other one, and I cannot at this time remember who, they were decided, maybe Troy, that was the setup. They were set up as a board of trustees and went to the bank. I remember talking about it, and I had said in the business meeting, we got to go to the money and borrow the bank, is what I said, and nobody corrected me until afterwards, and then they began to laugh at me. But anyway, went to the bank, borrowed the money, $12,000 to build that fellowship hall without any windows. In March of '74, the agreements were made, the deal was cut with Charlie Etheridge, we built the building, and by the end of April, by the end of April, it was used for the first time as a homecoming time. Okay, I'm gonna shut up talking for a while. Let's just sing. Troy, get ready to sing, brother, to lead, if you will, brother Gene's song over in the back, the superintendent song. But in the meantime, let's go to page 22. 22. Bob, will you lead a song after a while? Where are you, Bob? Can you handle that? Will you handle? Good, good. Let's go to, I think it was 22 I'm looking at. Yes, another one in the same key. This one is in the same key that the first two were in. And so if you've got that key, if you got that key in your brain, just keep it there for a little bit and let's sing where the soul never dies. All right. To Canaan's land, I'm on my way. I don't know, Perry, I don't know whether this one's working or the one on my, anyway, don't let me blast everybody out. Here we go. Okay, ready to sing? Here we go. My darkest night will turn to day where the soul never dies. Those you know that song now. You remember it, I'm sure some of you do. So let's come on through and sing it better. Come on. A rose is blooming. Verse 2, here we go. Back of the book that has the word superintendent in it. 304. 304. Troy always liked that song. He led it a lot back in the old days because of Gene Gregory. By the way, the number of pastors that this little church has had, if my number was right, if my counting was right, from 1942 up to Brother James. Anybody want to guess? That's 82 years. How many pastors? 5? James is number 23. We didn't keep those young guys very long. He's number 23, and if you forget that, just give him a Michael Jordan jersey. Wasn't that his number? 23. Just give. Now, I could very well have missed one through but I don't think so. It's 23. Okay, Troy, lead Life's Railway to Heaven. Yeah, if you want to do it.
You got enough breath for all of them?
You're going to do it. Bev, I'm not sure I can play that in B. What'd you say?
No, that's not right.
That's
F.
F. Okay. We'll try to make it a little easier to sing. It's high. All right, here we go.
Life is like a mountain railway with an engine in its frame. We must make the run successful from the cradle to the grave. Watch the curves that fills the tunnel. Never falter, never quit. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eye upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou wilt guide us till we reach that blissful shore where the angels wait to join us in thy praise forevermore. You will roll the great triumph. You will cross the bridge of strife. See the Christ is your conductor on the lightning train of life. Always mindful of obstruction. Do your duty, never fail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eye upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou wilt guide us till we reach that blissful shore where the angels wait to join us in thy praise forevermore. As you go across the Jerusalem, spanning Jordan's swelling tide, you behold the Union people into which the train will guide. There you'll meet the superintendent, God the Father, God the Son. With a heart in joyous wanting, weary pilgrim welcome home. Blessed Savior, thou wilt guide us till we reach that blissful shore, and the angels wait to join us in thy praise forevermore.
Good job. Thank you, Troy. 141 in your books, please. I was going to mention that there were plenty, back in the old days, there were plenty of young men who came through this church and surrendered to the ministry and weren't pastors here. I've heard you say, James was talking about how many people that this church has touched. One particular family was named Chesser, Chesser. My sister married into that family, married one of the Chesser boys. There were 5 of them. They had lived in Monticello. One of them came over here chasing a woman. Her name was Courtney. Anybody old enough in here to remember the Courtney plantation and the Courtney family? Her name was Hazel. Charles Chesser came from Monticello and began courting Hazel Courtney. He surrendered to the ministry in this church and went on to become quite a, I guess use the word important. He was a pretty important Southern Baptist minister in Arkansas. And in fact, at one time he went to Carlisle and was pastor up there for several years. There were 5 Chesser boys. The oldest one was a car mechanic, and the rest of them were preachers. I always thought that was so funny. I wonder if the 4 had surrendered to the ministry first, would the number 5, I don't know, just a thought. But he was a mechanic and a good one and worked for Ryburn many, many years ago. Gus Chesser. Gus Chesser. I doubt that anybody around there would remember that name. But
My nephew is married to the daughter of one of the mechanics.
we liable to get in trouble. I know. I did not know that. You may have told me that before, but I don't remember that. Okay, let's sing a song. No tears in heaven. Look at the words. No tears in heaven, no sorrows given. All will be glory in that land. There will be no sadness, all will be gladness when we shall join that happy band. Back in the old days, I can remember that being sung at funerals. No tears in heaven. We ain't going to sing it like that. We're going to come on up. Let's go with it a little bit faster than that. Bev, play it. Just about that tempo. Here we go. Here we go. Here Years in Heaven. That one, I don't know how familiar you were with it, but now you are a little bit more. 1966, big heavy rainstorm on homecoming day. This was before the fellowship hall. We had a house full for church. Where are we going to eat? We always ate out there under the silver maple trees. Anybody remember those trees? Ugliest things you ever saw. But they provided a little shade. And so on Saturday before the fourth Sunday in April every year, my dad, Uncle Pudge, Wash, y'all know who Wash is? Uncle Clyde, and that's Dad. Uncle Obie, remember that name? And whoever else wanted to show up would come out here on Saturday, knock some old tables together. There was no such thing as going to Walmart and buying tables. Knock some old boards together with sawhorses under them and make tables. That particular weekend was rainy, rainy, rainy. Nowadays, the old homecomings, you can't get people to come back after lunch to sing. That's the way it was in the old days. You'd come back after lunch and sing till 3 o'clock. Not anymore. Folks want that nap. They eat, they go home. So most of the churches, Bev and I have not seen a homecoming in several years now where people did come back. They just wind it up at lunchtime and that's it. And that's fine. Everybody, change happens. As long as God's in it, that's all right. I don't think he minds you going home and getting your nap. Just say a little prayer to him before you go to sleep. God, wake me up if it's all right. That particular Sunday in April of 1966, so rainy, after church, everybody went down to the community building, carried all the food down to the community building, spread it out down there, ate lunch, and then there was a parade of vehicles coming back to the church to come back up in here to sing for 2 hours. Can you imagine folks doing that now? Can't even imagine it now, but that was 1966. We had this was before the fellowship hall, and while I'm thinking about it, it just came through my head. We had a youth convention-like thing here in that North American Baptist Association that we were in those days. And we had a meeting here, a youth rally, one night. I don't know whether it was a weekend night, Friday or Saturday night. But in that meeting, the official count, now keep in mind the size of this building without the fellowship hall. And before John and all of them got these Sunday school rooms back here going. It stopped right back, the first set of rooms, I think, and this. The official count of that youth group meeting that night was 242. Where in the world would you put 242 people? It happened that it was a January night, but it happened to be a warm January night. The windows came up. Kids were standing everywhere outside the building looking in the windows. In January of 1966. Is that what I said? No, I'm not sure about that. But it was a January anyway, right in there. Okay. Bob, you got a song? Come on, let's sing it. What you got? 57. Let's see what 57 is, and then we'll see if Bev can play it. 50. See if Bill can play it. The old Rugged Cross. I think we might be able to make that. Come on, Bob. And Bev, find one to lead yourself after that. After Bill. The old Rugged Cross.
in. I
Oh,
didn't
you
have a
were?
chance to pick it up.
Okay.
I tell you what, turn to page 142. Let me ask you ladies a question. Are any of you married to a talker? Like to talk? All I can say is you can't hush a talker. They're talkers are. Page 142, this was Aunt Colleen's favorite song, and it's usually considered a Christmas song, but that's not always the case. It can be a song for any time. Beautiful Star, Bethlehem. I am at them. Let me go down another one. Third, y'all. Have you noticed that as you get older, you need keys that are lower to sing? The hymn books usually are lower than what they used to be. But these old gospel, Southern gospels, old-time country gospel hymn books still have it up, some of them, up too high. Andrew, right after the next song, get ready to sing yours, and I'd like for you to lead one while you're up here. Will you do that? Will you lead a song? Now listen, I could, you're going to do that, aren't you? Because I can go back and change grades. 141, I think. No, we did that. We did that already. Just hang on a minute. 236, that's it. 236. That's the one. What a day that will be. We're talking about homecoming, and I don't know. Anybody got a particular thought about homecoming that in years past, if not this church, some other church? We got some Arkansas City folks here. Anybody a homecoming thought about a church from somewhere back yonder in your past?
I think we have air conditioning.
Isn't that-
We used to have homecoming at the trees out there
good. Annette is probably the only one around here and the only one in existence whose parents and Birchfield grandparents, those four, were charter members of this church. They came over from Bel Air. They were at that Thursday night meeting that I was talking about. And others drifted in. There was a few others that night from different places. There was one family that came over from Rising. Arnold was their last name, and in fact, my parents bought this place up here from the Arnold family, and I'm not sure that's the same guy, but kin to us. What a day that will be. Look at the words. There's coming a day when no heartache shall come. No more clouds in the sky, no more tears to dim the eye. All is peace forevermore on that happy golden shore. What a glorious day that will be. Look at the second verse. There'll be no sorrows there, no more burdens to bear. No more sickness, no pain, no more parting over there. Forever I will be with the one who died for me. What a day, glorious day that will be. We talked about all those pastors that we've had, James being number 23. We had one, an old country preacher that had pastored at Camena for many years. He came over here. He stayed with us 11 years, turned around, went back to Camena. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Brother Tom Christmas. He loved this song. He was here 11 years, and that was the longest to that point, but we hadn't seen nothing yet. After him, Halley Baptist Church set a record in the fall of 1983. We had to have set a record. We were out of a pastor for 5 weeks. 5 weeks. You can't find a church anywhere that's out of a pastor for only 5 weeks. We found this guy and couldn't get rid of him. Gene Gregory came over, superintendent up at Arkansas City, and we got a hold of him as pastor. Come in. We got a hold of him as pastor, and he took over, I think, the first Sunday in October. Somebody find a spot for these folks to sit in. October of 1983, Brother Gene took over as pastor and stayed here and stayed here and stayed here for a total, I think, if I'm right, 36 years. Is that right? 17 plus 19, that's 36. He passed away in December of 2019. 36 years. Gene Gregory loved this song. What a day that will be. Won't it be a wonderful day when we see him over there? What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see. I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace, when he takes me by the hand, leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. Bev, drop that one. Let's play an F too.
Thank do first, bud?
Well, I do that one.
I'll do yours first.
Sure.
Okay, there.
Daystar. Lily of the valley, let your sweet aroma fill my life. Rose of Sharon, show me how to grow in beauty in God's sight. Fairest of 10,000, make me a reflection of your light. Daystar, shine down on me. Let your love shine through me in the night. Lead me, Lord, I'll follow. Anywhere you open up the door. And let your word speak to me. And show me what I've never seen before. You know I wanna be your witness. You can take what's wrong and make it right. Daystar, shine down on me. Let your love shine through me in the night. Oh, I see a world that's dying. It's wounded by the master of deceit. Groping in the darkness, haunted by the years of past defeat. And then I see you standing near me, Lord, shining with compassion in your eyes, in your eyes. Daystar, shine down on me, and let your love shine through me in the night. And oh, lead me, Lord, I'll follow. Anywhere you open up the door. Let your word speak to me. Show me what I've never seen before. Sir? I don't know.
Okay, 181.
Whoa.
181. I know who holds tomorrow. I know you know that song.
I might.
Ira Stanfield, look up at the top of the song. Ira Stanfield wrote that in 1960. They called Ira Stanfield the singing evangelist. He would preach revivals, and all at once, in the middle of his sermon, he'd just break out in a song, singing. I've got a little buddy that you know, Brett Stewart, has surrendered to the ministry last summer, as a matter of fact. A year and a half ago, his dad passed away, and his dad was the Secretary General, Secretary Treasurer of the ABA in Texarkana, and he was pretty up into missionary Baptist work. And Brett, I know, in his mind, he was knowing that he couldn't fill his daddy's shoes, but he's trying. He's trying to do what the Lord wants him to do, and he is already an excellent preacher. And I'm already calling him a singing evangelist, because guess what he's doing? He's preaching, and right out in the middle of the sermon, he'll break out in a song that matches his sermon. Ira Stanfield, and I'll hush in a minute and let him do it. Ira Stanfield used to preach revivals, and he would ask his congregation, give me a title to a song and bring it back tomorrow night. Think up a title of a song and bring it back. Actually, he would do it the same night. Give me a title to a song. Somebody would call out a title, give him a title. The next night, Ira Stanfield, can you imagine the talent that would take? He would come back with a song by that title, and in his sermon, he'd just break out singing a song. He died just a very few years ago. He preached up into his 90s and passed away in Memphis. Great old man of the gospel, Ira Stanfield. I Know Who Holds Tomorrow was one of his best. I don't know about tomorrow. I just live from day to day. I don't borrow from its sunshine, for its skies may turn to gray. Help Andrew sing it, first and last verses. I don't know about tomorrow, but I know who holds tomorrow. Let's do it. Bev, play. Good job. I appreciate it. Somebody, anybody want to lead a song before we shut down? We're at 10 minutes after 11. We're going to shut it down within 10 minutes, our part. Anybody want to lead a song? Anybody want somebody else to lead a song?
Brother Bill, I'll lead one right. Well, how about I'll lead one right after I do the. What's that thing we got to do?
I'm not sure.
The offering.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Yes. One what? 160. 160. What is 160? Oh my goodness. It's 160. Let's see what we can do, and y'all just sing with us, and it won't drag. Let's go. It's different now. Once I was lost in sin, I had no peace within. Let's see what we can do. All right, here we go. Let's go to the last one now, and
Well, I'm going to lead us in one here in just a moment, but before I do, I wanted to ask Brother Troy, can you get your favorite grandson and his brother to come do that's a little inside joke, because when one of them's gone, he always asks for his favorite grandson. I ought to put him on the spot and say which is which, but I'm not going to do that. Connor, do you mind asking the prayer for the offering, and also go ahead and do the blessing for us as well?
Dear God, thank you for this morning. I just thank you for the ability to be here to worship you in song. Lord, it's been a great morning. I just ask that you be with us as we go through our lives, that we keep you first, no matter what, that we always remember who we need to be worshiping and who we need to put first, Lord. I ask that you keep us content in each and every situation that we're in, not to always want things, but realize that you give us what we need. Father, just please forgive us for where we fail you and fall short of your glory by so much, Lord. But we thank you for sending your Son down on the cross to save us of our sins, Lord. I ask that you bless all of us as we go through this week. I ask that you bless the food to our bodies, Lord, and just bless this offering and this day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Do you want me to close this out too? Well, what a special day it's been already. Tammy, before I forget, I want to do we need to make a note with the fellowship or the leadership team. I'm seeing something special here. I don't think anyone can say no to Elle. Our offering's probably going to go. We need her to go both sides next week. Okay, both sides. Tough to say no to her. She's not leaving until you put some in. So, hey, I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. What a special day. Anytime we're able to come home, it just means it means the world. And not just those that have come from other places, but it means a lot to those of us who are here to see the faces to come back. And we just thank you for joining us. And I want to say a special thank you to Andrew. Thank you so much for blessing us with song. What an amazing voice he has. Thank you for doing what you do for the Lord. Miss Beverly and Mr. Bill. And, you know, every year we just count on them to bless us. And I know that, you know, they've moved to the big city now and they go to the big church. But I think that they would say it always feels like home when they come. And, you know, I'm going to lead us in a song here. I'm not the best singer, but I don't bust out in song. Maybe I need to start doing that and wake my crowd up. But this, to me, is an old-time thing that we do here with this homecoming. So I'm going to ask you to turn to page 153, and we're going to sing about that old-time religion. And I'm a simple guy. I say all the time, I'm a very simple person. This song is about the most simple song it could be. There's one thing that is repeated, and, you know, whatever it is that we do, we just sing it. And so, like, it, you know, in the beginning it says, it's the old-time religion. And so that's good enough for me. Then we go to Makes Me Love Everybody. And you'll see on the bottom there, it goes all the way through 9 verses. Okay, we're not going to do 9 verses, but I do want us to make a joyful noise here. So let's go with the first one. And let's see, why don't we go the first, second, and third right now. Let's go back to that. It was good for our mothers. It was good for our mothers. It was good for our mothers. It's good enough for me. You ready? I'm going to freestyle a little bit. Can I freestyle? Okay. Because it is homecoming, I want us to think about those who have been here that have meant so much to us, that aren't here anymore. You know, and I can't name them all, but just as I think about it, I think about Mimi. 30-something years ago, whenever I was here, we had the kids in the youth group would come, and there'd be what I call the blue-haired mafia. There was a bunch of ladies that would feed them every Sunday. And I think about Mimi, and I think about Thelma Mabry, and I think about being able to go to Fred Cooper and him doing anything. I think about Donald Mac Birchfield, probably telling an off-color joke that was just funny as can be. I think about all of these people who are here. Brother Gene Gregory taking me under his wing. And, you know, I think about how I wish that Johnny could have made it just a few more months. He would have been 100 in January. And I think about these people who have gone on. And the one thing that is the same about every one, and you can think of how many more. I mean, Brother Fred that just passed away. There's so many. It's an endless list. And the one thing I could say about them all is that this old-time religion was good enough for them. And that old-time religion that was good enough for them, it's what's going to get us to heaven. And so what I'd like for you to do is please stand. We're going to sing about 3 more verses. And here's where we freestyle. This first one that we're going to do verse 8 and 9, okay? But before we get to 8 and 9, I want us to sing, It Was Good for Hallie Baptist. It was good for Hallie Baptist. You think about those people that came before us. It was good for Hallie Baptist, and it's good enough for me. So please sing that and then 8 and 9.
It was good for Hallie Baptist. It was good for Hallie Baptist. It was good for Hallie Baptist. It's good enough for me.
It will do when I am dying.
It will do when I am dying. It will do when I am dying. It's good enough for me. It will take us all to heaven. It will take us all to heaven. It will take us all to heaven. It's good enough for me.
Thank you so much for coming. Your voices, I'm sitting up here and I don't get to see a lot of the faces, but and I'm just telling you, it's a blessing to me to be able to just hear you. And I think about when he's gone to the back, but Thomas, my little grandson, he's nonverbal, they say, but boy, he sure says a lot. And as he's talking up here, it makes me well up with pride. I'm his grandpa, and I love him so much. And I have to think about our Father in heaven. When he hears us, he sees us, and he loves us more than I love Thomas. And if it makes me feel so good to hear Thomas talk, imagine how much it does your Father in heaven good to hear you lift your voices. So I say thank you this morning for worshiping with us. We're going to celebrate in the back with a big feast. And we've already prayed over it, but I want to pray a blessing over us, and then you guys will be dismissed. Is there anything I need to say about the back? We're good? Okay. Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. I thank you for the men and women who have given so much in the past, Lord, to build this church. God, we know that the people are the church. But Lord, there wouldn't be the people gathered here if it wasn't for this physical church. So people made financial sacrifices in the past. People made sacrifices of their time to lay the foundation, literally. Lord, and we thank you for that. We thank you for the people that make this church a church. God, I thank you that Hallie Baptist is a place that no matter where you call home, when you come here, you feel like you're at home. God, we love you. We thank you for being our God. We know that we are not worthy of anything that you bless us with. But Lord, you pour out new mercies on us every morning. And God, we couldn't ask for more. There is nobody who has it better than we do. Lord, I thank you for your blessings, things that we've forgotten about that we've been blessed with. Lord, we thank you for what you're going to do, what you have done, and what you're doing now. As we go back here in fellowship, Lord, just keep us safe, Lord, and just let us never forget that everything good in our lives comes from you. It's in the precious